Ladies and gentlemen, thieves and crooks, citizens of Mega City 1 and Gotham, I am the Comic Outlaw, and yes, we are bringing you a sequel. Yes, indeed, we're bringing you Judge Dredd and Batman, Vendetta and Gotham. And if you have any questions, check out my previous one that I did. It explains why Judge Dredd's here and kind of what's going on. But let's get right into it. You know your main man loves a good rumble. Especially a rumble in the jungle that is Gotham City. Because, you know, Gotham plays by its own rules. As it said. Anyways, we're taking you to Gotham. And Batman's doing what Batman does. Keeping the city safe. Taking apart some criminals here. Causing them to get scared, disrupted. And, of course, typical Batman move. Having them run into a wall. Basically just another night for the Kid Crusader. Stopping crime, stopping robbery, doing what he does. Basically just an average night. And as you can see, he quickly dispatches these criminals with no problem. I mean, of course, he's Batman. What's some lightweight thug got against him, Nothing. Nothing. But anyways, this typical night in Gotham, you could say, is about to be interrupted by a man on a bike. Yes, sir. The man. The law. Judge Joseph Dredd. Judge Dredd himself. And as Batman gets ready to go into his Batmobile and patrol the city a little bit more, Judge Dredd starts following him and targets his car. Batman, realizing what the hell is going on, just a little too late as Judge Dredd comes rolling up behind him. And starts going to town on the Batmobile, firing every weapon it can. And this is what I love about future tech. Slightly better than Batman's tech. Targeting's right on sight. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. There goes the tires. And the Batmobile goes flying. Like I said, Batman's tech's good. But Judge Dredd has that future tech. And of course, Judge Dredd gets out, see if Batman's still alive. Batman, of course, answers to a fist to the face. And it's a rematch from the last comic book series they did when they clashed last time. They got a few licks in on each other, and which is great because Scarface and the Ventriloquist are here. And this is a lucky break for them. I mean, the two heroes are fighting, and they're going to carry on with their plan. Their insidious plan. But that comes later, folks. Judge Dredd puts his gun in his bike, tells him it's man-to-man, takes his ammunition belt off, and they begin to rumble. Rumble, Batman, rumble. Yeah. You're trading slugs with Judge Dredd in the Gotham jungle. And they're beating each other down as they end up on a playground. And the fists and kicks go round and round like that merry-go. So, here we go. Judge Dredd, of course, uses the teeter-totter to hit Batman in a very cartoony way, which is cool, it's a comic book. And then he slugs Batman right in the face. Oh, man. I bet that rattled Batman's ancestors. Meanwhile, Scarface and the Ventriloquist are up to their evil do-gooding. Well, not do-gooding, but evil doing, if you know what I'm saying. And they got a plan to dress Scarface up like a baby, which I'm very surprised he did that. They stole some little girl's doll. And for some reason, and people talk about plot holes in a comic, but this one, for some reason, the Ventriloquist gives Scarface to her and she takes him. Even though he must have a walkie or something shoved up his rear or in his back, because he's still able to talk. And this will continue on, just so you know. And for some reason, she takes the little dolly. The mother's actually cool with it, which was the biggest surprise of all, and they're off. Meanwhile, the slugfest continues between Dredd and Batman. And of course, Batman using the swing. I got to give it to these guys. These are some playground antics. My 7th grade self would be extremely proud of the way they're using everything to their advantage. Now, Batman comes in for this kick and basically just misses it. like the old luchadors in the WCW. He basically just goes right through the ropes, or the wire in this case, and starts heading out towards the train. And as Dredd says his signature, Dwark. I think that's the way you say it. As Batman goes tumbling towards the train. Will he kiss the freight train, or will he be able to get away? We'll find out soon. And as the ventriloquist starts off his plans, apparently there's a bomb also in Scarface, and they're going to use this as a hostage situation. Or, if things go bad, just to blow up everyone. You know, it could go either way with those two. As Batman suddenly catches onto a pipe, it breaks, but it gives him enough time to roll on to the top of the train. Yes, and Judge Dredd decides to follow. Jumping down and continuing on with this round. And I just love the animosity these two have. Dredd despises him because he's a vigilante, and Batman despises him because he's a bully and a fascist, which in both cases are true. So they decided to square off again. They're having another fight, and the good citizens of Gotham are just enjoying the show. That means too, like, what else can you do in that situation, right? At least it's not Joker poisoning everyone. But anyways, the fight continues. These two guys are just beating the hell out of each other. I mean, just beating it. This is a wonderful scene right here. I do like this. This would make a wonderful poster. And as you can tell, they're going back and forth, back and forth. Each man has a lot of combat experience. Each man has been in a lot of different situations. Aliens, wizards, ghosts, time travel, reality warping. So these guys have pretty much seen it all, and they've pretty much done it all. And that's why the fight's pretty even. And they're really going back and forth, until Dredd temporarily gets the upper hand, knocks Batman into the coal. The sidecar sort of snaps, and everything just starts falling out. And Batman, of course, is getting ready to accept the fact that Dredd won. But the thing is that Dredd's an officer of the law. And that will come into play a little while later. Now we're back to the ventriloquist and Scarface's, I guess, plan. As they're doing a play of Goldilocks and Three Bears. And this is just one of the oddest things that you actually see in the comic. I mean, even the senator, everyone else is just mystified why that doll is there. But that's comics for you folks. I mean, I guess it's right up there with the laughing fish. But anyways, Batman's about to fall off. Dredd reaches out a hand and grabs right onto Bruce's wrist. And I bet he would have snapped it too if it wasn't for that armor. And of course, they both fall into the water, kind of drying off. And Batman and Dredd sort of having a little moment. And of course, Dredd does what Dredd does and just sucker punches him. Oh, what can you say for the law, man? They sucker punch you every time. But anyways, in this enchanting Goldilocks moment, getting ready to blow things up, getting ready to do the plan, or whatever Scarface deems out to yell at the last minute. But anyways, Dredd and Batman decide to crawl themselves out the river. And Dredd's talking to him. Batman throws a punch. Dredd's dodge it. Dredd finally says that he's just been keeping him busy. He thought the fight would just be a good rematch. And he reveals that something's going to happen to Bruce. Now, as the Goldilocks chapter continues, this is just sad, folks. I've seen a lot of goofy capers because I love my 50s comics, but Jesus. But anyways, Batman dead. Yes, Batman assumingly dies trying to save the children in that building. So Mr. Scarface decides to go ba-boom on it. And Dredd is here to prevent that because some of the psychic division says that he's going to be very useful later on to them. Batman realizes that it's only 2 blocks away and decides to go off and do what Batman does and save the day. Dredd, having to follow orders, decides that he should follow him in that very cool bike. And he takes off, trying to stop Batman and trying to save him for himself, or save him from himself, and save his future as well. And of course, the ventriloquist is still standing there. Scarface is just basically giving everybody the business, doing what Scarface does. And it's funny how people can't really understand what he says because he uses the G's instead of B's. But Batman, of course, is racing off. He cannot let these children die. Even if it means his own death, Batman will gladly sacrifice himself to save innocent lives. That's who Batman is. That's what Batman does. Judge Dredd is more of a man on a mission. And this mission, well, unfortunately, he has to help Batman, one of the people that he'd rather just slug it out with. But Batman crashes through the window. Judge Dredd finds another way around. He decides to look for the ventriloquist himself, instead of going after the dummy. Well, I guess technically the Scarface calls him dummy, so it's one hero looking for both dummies, I guess. But anyways, Batman talks to the little girl. He gets Scarface, a.k.a. the weird-looking baby doll with a cigar in his mouth, away from him. Judge Dredd shoots the timer or detonator away from him. The ventriloquist, he throws Scarface out before that idiot picks up the device, and then bada boom! Yes, the explosion rocks everything. And Scarface goes into a million little pieces. I guess Batman really blew up that wood, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, they stand there. Judge Dredd, of course, rounds up the ventriloquist and his boys. Batman comes walking out. They thank him for saving the day. And of course, they ask who Judge Dredd is. Batman has to swallow his pride and say that he's sort of one of the good guys. Judge Dredd has carried out his mission. Batman has saved the children. Everybody has gotten what they want, except Judge Dredd and Batman have a last little talk, saying that Judge Dredd will see him soon, as he will be needed in a future event for his world. What will that event be? Who knows? And you know what? I'll let you know the next time. I am the Comic Outlaw. I hope you enjoyed this story. Like, subscribe, and as always, I will catch you on the flip side.